All right, guys. So I just wanted to make a little correction to I. 66 divided by 4 is actually 16.5. So this should be 16.5 meters. And then the area would be 16.5 times 16.5. So it's 16.5 times 16.5. And that would work out to be what? I'll tell you in a second. 16.5 times 16.5. I hate making errors. So the area is 272.25 meters squared. All right. So let's move on to the next question. Example 11.
2.3 instead of 272.
I don't think it really matters. I wouldn't change it because it's just 0.25. It's 2 decimal places. I would just leave it like this. But you could have just put 272. Yeah, fine. No problem. I don't think, it's only 2 decimal places, so I would just leave it like that. All right, example 11. No, example 11. All right. Example 11 says, example 11A says calculate the area of the shaded shape. So what we need is we need the area of the shaded shape. The idea here is that, please listen. The idea here is that this is a square, and out of the square, somebody cut out a circle. That's the idea of the question. Now, whenever you have a situation like this where a part of a shape is cut out, what you would do is that you would find the area of the outer shape, find the area of the inner shape, and then subtract the area of the inner shape from the area of the outer shape. That's the idea behind it. But let us say I have my square. If I multiply, let us say 20 by 20, I'm going to get 400. So all of in here is 400. But I don't want the area for all of in there. So if I multiply 20 by 20, it gives me the area of the entire square. But I don't want the area of the entire square. A piece of the area of the square has been removed. So what I have to do in a scenario like this is I need to find the area of the square, find the area of the circle, and then subtract the area of the circle from the area of the square, and what remains would be the area of the what? The shaded part. Guys, area is measuring surface. Area is a measure of the amount of surface. So when I multiply 20 by 20, it gives me the entire surface inside the square. If I want the area of only the shaded piece, I need to take away the area of the unshaded what? Circle. So in a scenario like this, in a scenario like this, the area of the shaded would be the area of the square minus the area of the circle. Now, the area of the square is 20 times 20. That's easy. Guys, can anybody tell me what's the radius of the circle? Can anybody tell me what's the radius?
Centimeters? No, sorry, 10 centimeters.
Say that again. What is the radius of the circle?
10 centimeters.
Very good. Pass more. All right. So let's see if everybody can see that. Let me answer a question. What do you call this distance from here to here? Anybody? Help me, man.
It's the
So the diameter.
Diameter.
So,
No, if this is 20, it means that the diameter is also what? 20. And if the diameter is 20, it means that the radius, which is a half of the diameter, is 10. So the area is pi r squared, which is 3.14 times the radius, which is 10, multiplied by the radius, which is 10. This is 400 minus 314. The area of the shaded section is actually 86 centimeters square. So the area of the shaded in this case would be the area of the square minus the area of the circle, and that gives me the area of the shaded section, which would remain after you take the circle from the square. All right, let's have a look at another question. All right, so guys, I want you to do well, I wonder what around here. So this says A, and then we turn the back and it says A again. So this should actually be B. So for B, we need to calculate the area and perimeter of the shaded shape. We need to calculate the area and perimeter of the shaded shape. All right. For I, a piece of the square has been removed. And for II is what you call a composite shape. A semicircle was added to a square. So in both cases, we need to calculate the perimeter and we need to calculate the area of the shape. Very quickly do I. Let me give you what? Wow, we don't have a lot of time. So let me do I, and then I'll ask you to do I. So for I need the area and I need the perimeter. All right, what I'm seeing here in this question is that my starting point is a square, and out of the square, somebody cut out a semicircle. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
What is cut out is a half of a circle. So the area of the shaded would be equal to the area of the square minus the area of the semicircle. Now, the area of the square would actually be 28 times 28. Now, the area of the circle is a half, because it's a half pi, which is what? Pi is going to be what? Let's use the 3.1. Let's use 22/7, because they didn't say, times the radius, which is 14 times 14. Half, so the diameter of the circle would be 28, and the radius, which is a half, would be 14. So it is a half pi r square, because what is removed from the square is a half of a circle, which is a semicircle. So 2 cancels this 11, 7 cancels this 2. So we have, this is 28 times 28. This is 784 minus 11 times 2 times 14. This is 308. And when we subtract, we get the area of the shaded is 476, and this is centimeters square. Now we're also asked to calculate the perimeter. Now, perimeter means distance around. Let me switch to red for the perimeter. Perimeter means distance around. So if I'm going to calculate the perimeter, I need to know the length of all edges going around the shape. There are 3 straight edges and they're all 28 centimeters. That is given. The strokes on the line are telling me that the sides are equal. What I don't know is this curve length. I don't know this curve length here. That's what I don't know. I need the curve length. This curve length, I need it. Now, tell me, let's call it L. Do you agree that that curve length is half of a circumference? Anybody? Would you agree that the curve length L is half of the circumference?
Yes, sir.
So L would be a half of the circumference, which is 2 pi r. 2's cancel. So it's just be pi r. So this would be 22 over 7 times r, which is 14. The answer here is 44. So L here is 44. And so the perimeter, which is distance around, would be a start at 28, 28 plus 28 plus 28. Those are the 3 straight edges. And then the length of the curved edge, which is 44. So let's add. The perimeter would therefore be 128 centimeters. 128 centimeters would be the perimeter. Very quickly, guys, I want you to do II. Very quickly, I want you to do II. We need the area and the perimeter of this shape, of this composite shape. This shape is a combination of a square and of a semicircle. All right, so for II, again, we're to calculate the area of the shape and the perimeter. So area of this composite shape would be equal to the area of the square plus the area of the rectangle. So this would be 42 times 42, which would give me the area of the square, plus a half of the area of the square plus area of rectangle. And nobody never correct me. Plus the area of the semicircle. So it's a half pi, which is 22 over 7, times the radius, which is 21, times 21. 2 into this goes 11. So 42 times 42. This is 1764 plus so we have 11 times 21 times 21 This is 4,851. All right, this seems a wee bit high. Let's go 42 times 42 again. 42 times 42, good. And 11 now. 11
Sir, is the pi.
times, oh,
Sir,
divided by
I didn't
7.
put the
Sir,
22
yes,
on
sir.
the 7.
Okay, I got it. So it's 11 times 7 goes into this 3 times. So it's 11 times 3 times 21. And 11 times 3 times 21, this says 693. 693 plus the 1764. So the area is 2,457, and this is meters square. All right, we need perimeter. This side is 42. This side is 42. What I don't know is the curve length. Let's call it L, but L is equal to a half of the circumference. So it's a half times 2 pi r, 2 pi, which is what, 22 over 7, times r, which is 21. So u cancels u goes into u 3 times. 3 times 22 is 66 meters. So L is 66 meters. So the perimeter would be 66 plus 42 plus 42 plus 42.
Sir,
Give me a second, please. And this says 192 meters. All right, did I make a mistake? Is that what you're telling me, Kezia?
I'm just asking why. So I'm asking if you would add an X 42 at the top.
No, you wouldn't. You would not, because perimeter means distance around, not distance across. So if this is the length you're talking, no, you must not add that length. You're just going around the shape. So in going around the shape, it would be 42 plus 42 plus 42 plus 66. And that carries me around the shape. All right. So it would not include that 42 that goes across the shape.